But what was you guys' take on the fight?
So first of all, the way that they came out, I was also just taken aback. Like, hey, gents, lebato murana, lebato knockout, and take. And then after the first round, the fight just went down, dog. Niggas was unfit, way.
And from when the bell rang, I don't think anybody expected that it was gonna be that electrifying. That these boys both wanted to knock each other out, not to play around, boxing, not to size each other up. No. They were like, let's go. So shout out to them for first of all taking that risk.
But I feel like there's a conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
All right, let's hear
But
it.
it's a conspiracy that there's the way that the scorecards came out is the way that it was supposed to be. Because a rematch would be good for business.
Now,
that's what people are saying. I don't know, but that's what people are saying.
But if you're there, especially live, let me tell you something. None of those boys were trying to swing to miss each other. They were swing hoping.
Landing.
Let me tell you something. And from the get-go, you're right about Cassper. He came out fires blazing because he really wanted to live up to the hashtag of knock him out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What up? What's good? What's hot? What's happening? Welcome to another hot episode of the POPcast. And of course, my name is still Miss Cosmo. I haven't changed it as yet. I am rolling with my main man, Moochie for one baby. What's good?
That's right, Moochie for one baby. Welcome to it. Good to get a whole bunch of guys. That's why those have be close in whether you're nice snug. So I feel like come closer to the TV or to the whatever you're watching. Just come closer to your cell phone. But yeah, it's good to be back. Another dope episode, and of course,
Moochie spends the weekend in the Northwest, and now he remembers he can speak Ghana. Parasiko Lapo, we do have an awesome guest with us today. Tato, what's up?
What are we saying? Shop with Zeta Buffet. It is, of course, your boy Tato Ditebe, aka President Tato, aka the gentle brother who's all about following the protocol and the mandate of giving you nothing but fire entertainment. And Buffet, Vandaag we are rolling with the POPcast.
Yes. Hey, this guy wants a job. Anyway.
How many jobs do you want?
I mean, he wants all of them at this stage.
Thanks for joining us, bro.
Thank you for joining us, Tato. We are back at Alta Bar and Greenside. A big shout outs to the owners for letting us come back yet again. Of course, we're always supporting black businesses, so please come through. Check it out. They've got amazing cocktails here.
Absolutely.
So if the weather's going to keep you a little bit cold this winter, maybe you want to come and get a little bit warm here by having a young spruzo. But anyway, let's get to the real facts of the weekend. Like I said, Sipho was out in the Northwest doing the things, getting in touch with his people because we're now that he's on the Zulu side of life.
Dumelang. That's what I say when I go back. Dumelang Lekai. But yeah, of course, the big talk of the past weekend is, of course, the big bouts between Cassper and Naak Musiq. In terms of the vibe, just to give you guys just a brief look at. I mean, everybody knows that the weather was pretty bad. So Sun City was a rainy city. It was cloudy city, but it was still fun city. So the guys put together a really, really dope show, man. It was really good to see how much effort they went into putting together, even with the weather, that everybody, really has a good time. It's very well taken care of. And it feels like, people are calling it like a mini Vegas in South Africa. When we watch these events overseas and we're watching now from your All-Star weekends to Vegas itself, to these big fights at the MGM Grand, we're always thinking, man, we deserve vibes like that down here. So above everything else, I think everybody was grateful for a little bit of dope and new entertainment.
Something fresh.
You know what I'm saying? And with the fight itself, here's what I think, right? Before I ask you guys your opinion. With the fight itself, I think it's a great thing that it happened. I think it's a great thing because, Cassper is a very polarizing guy in this country, right? It's either you really, really like him or you probably really, really don't like him. It's very hard to find people who are in the middle ground who find him just okay or something. Naak Musiq, I guess, is not somebody who's like particularly disliked as well. And they two boys they actually get along. So that fight didn't have any lot of animosity around it. It was just, yo, let's go. And from when the bell rang, I don't think anybody expected that it was going to be that electrifying. That these boys both wanted to knock each other out, not to play around, boxing, not to size each other up. No. They were like, let's go. So shout out to them for first of all taking that risk, because I know getting knocked out in front of television, millions probably are watching, is not fun at all. But what was you guys' take on the fight?
I don't know, man. The fight itself.
The fight itself. No, the whole event.
So first of all, the way that they came out, I was also just taken aback. Like, hey, gents, lebato murana, lebato knockout, and then after the first round, the fight just went down, dog. Niggas was unfit, way. Niggas was unfit every 2 seconds, every 15 seconds. So a part of me felt like Naak was going to win the fight without a doubt, because like he played it smart the whole time. You know, he was doing his jabs, stepping away, giving himself some space, giving himself some time to, you know, relax, get some enya. And whereas Cassper and Nabatla feel like knockout the whole time. But I feel like, and there's a conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
All right, let's hear
But
it.
it's a conspiracy that there's the way that the scorecards came out is the way that it was supposed to be. Because a rematch would be good for business.
Now,
That's
I don't
what people
hate
are saying.
conspiracy
I don't
theory.
know, but
I
that's
don't
what
hate
people
it.
are saying.
But if you're there, especially live, let me tell you something. None of those boys were trying to swing to miss each other. Or swing hoping.
This thing is landing.
Let me tell you something. And from the get-go, you're right about Cassper. He came out fires blazing because he really wanted to live up to the hashtag of knock him out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what people don't realize about boxing is that it's extremely tiring.
True.
Already the boys worked hard to train, which they needed to. You know what I'm saying? Cassper had to lose a lot of weight and be stamina, first of all, before we even get to brute strength. And you could see him, he immediately almost regretted how much energy he exerted in the first two rounds. Because he was very, very exhausted. And Naak could see this guy's getting tired. So he started playing a little bit more smart. Letting him kind of swing and then trying to land those important jabs. And that's just on a boxing term. But, I mean, I like that conspiracy theory. Because Naak and his team, the way that they celebrated lets you know that they were very relieved that they won.
True.
Like they stood there waiting for the announcement, and as soon as they heard they won, it's like explosive. It wasn't like, we knew we had this. It was like, oh, thank God that we get the bragging rights. Because of course Cassper put the whole thing together in his team. Sure. They put a lot of effort to it. Naak was almost invited as a challenger, not so much as a collaborator business-wise.
I think,
of course, whatever business side he might have had was probably just contractual, not so much organizational.
So I didn't really get a chance to watch the fight because I was in the middle of the Indian Ocean. But I mean, I was trying to catch waves and catch the rain at the same time. It was awkward. But nonetheless, I did have fun out on the cruise. Outside of that, I did see a few clips. So I didn't get the full gist of the whole fight. But the clips, again, all I was seeing was the hugs, the kisses, the what. Come closer, my brother. You know, maybe let's keep each other warm. And it was also, for me, a little bit touch and go because obviously, when you're talking about the fact that Cassper had needed to lose weight, he needed to get up his stamina. Naak also needed to get up his stamina because, I mean, boxing is not like gymming. Because you can pick up weights, but you might not have the breathing strength to keep going. So the fact that they both had to train to get themselves fit enough was obviously already at the point where I was sitting back like, hey, this thing could go either way.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Naak's team probably celebrated the way that they did because they knew it could go either way.
Absolutely.
They were both putting in the effort. They were both putting in the work with regards to training. So shout outs to them for being sportsmen. Shout outs to Cassper for being a sportsman because I know a lot of people also had a conspiracy theory that he would weigh it towards his favor because he put it together.
Yeah. All right, of course. I guess,
you know what I mean? So I say it's good sportsmanship that he didn't want to rig the votes in his favor.
I feel like as a businessman, and look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But if I put this whole thing together and I see you go to, okay, cool, I'm going to make a cool 5M out of this whole situation. Just a number, Jay, that I'm putting out there. Then I would want to lose because then in that way we can do it again. We can operate it again. Either get a rematch.
No, but you can also then go back and do it again even if you won because then you're saying I'm undisputed. I'm the guy who's winning.
But if Cassper was to win, everyone would be like, okay, cool, now we saw it coming.
No, then they're going to say, okay, who are you fighting next? Are you going to knock that next guy out?
But now, how it works that boxing, he has to fight Naak again because they've created a celebrity belt. You know what I'm saying? So Naak either has to defend it or like you do in boxing or vacate the belt. You know what I'm saying? Say, okay, I'm retiring. I never want to fight again. I just wanted to hit Cassper. He can have his belt back and go fight with somebody else. He can do that. But of course, sportsmanship makes if Cassper was a gentleman towards him, so he has you get at least a right of reply in these things. You know what I'm saying? So I want to defend your bout so that either Naak comes 2-0 or they go 1-1 and then they go their separate ways. Then Cassper can't go fight other niggas before he fights Naak again. He has to correct that. Naak must either get his clean 2-0 or or Cassper equalizes it, and then after that they can decide. But we don't want to watch Cassper and Naak all the time. But he has to give him a reply at least, so that he can move forward. But he can't go around saying, tomorrow I want to fight Sipho, tomorrow I want to fight, and then just imagine you're getting knocked out everywhere and just keep picking niggas. The fight says you must go head to head with the guy, and then he owes you at least a rematch. Just so we can settle the score properly. So people that are doubting Naak can either say, okay, sharp, we saw Cassper bring it, or Cassper's people can be like, hey, at least we gave him a chance to try and make us proud twice, and he lost both times. Let's move on with our lives and find somebody else. You know what I mean?
Who would you fight though? If you actually fight someone,
I don't know. I mean, there's nobody I wouldn't fight.
The thing is, there might be a lot of people who want to fight Sipho. We're not too sure if he wants to fight them.
Boromi Kostatic.
Always.
Why? You've actually got a vendetta. And the thing is, Nati, now we're also catching those strays now because you are the one of the problem.
I'm just blaming that. That wouldn't be fair. You know what I'm saying? I'd need 2 Kostatiches or something.
Wow.
Everyone's doing.
Costa, please, ungasifaki.
But I don't know who I would fight actually. I've never thought about it. I'd probably fight one of my boys. All my boys were watching, who came with me to Sun City, was like, you know what, from now on, we're drinking there, but we're all drinking and boxing at the same time. I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna work, my brother. I don't think we'll make it past 1 round.
That's gonna be bad.
Unnecessary. But big ups to Cassper, big ups to the team for putting together.
Who would you fight?
I asked my younger MVP when I was with her over the weekend. I was like, would you fight Miss Cosmo?
Don't lie. Why would you ask her that?
Because like, she's your homie, but like, you know, would you think you could take Miss Cosmo on? She didn't give me a definitive answer, but I think she was basically saying that, look, I don't think Mononi wants to smoke.
Well, I mean, firstly, I am like double my size. So, like, I mean, height-wise, I would never be able to reach. Let's firstly
it's a me and Costa situation.
I mean, honestly, I'm very aware of how small I am. So I'm not even going to try and do that. However, I wouldn't want to box because I'm the biggest coward. Like me, I'm like you. Big words, big words. Steps. When it's time to box, I'm out of there. You won't even see me. Like, you'll just see smoke because I'll be gone. Me, I'm the biggest coward. I would never be able to do it.
Boy, but they're not like you, boy.
I'm trying to figure out what she's talking about now. Please don't believe Miss Cosmo. Don't approach me thinking I can knock this guy out. I talk a big game. I'll now knock you out. Knock it down, man. And one of us from the Northwest needs to do it for the. See that Cassper, they're gonna be thinking, I think the Northwest boys are someone to play with now, and that's lethal weapon. Plus, you know what? Actually, I don't have box. We just pull out cans now this time.
What the hell? Hey, yo.
Yeah, we must take it to the top.
Hey, yo.
I've never seen when somebody's getting beaten so much that they're looking for bricks because they see they're losing the fight. No. Whatever it takes, my boy.
Very unnecessary. Please don't listen to Sipho. We don't need any of that violence, please. But again. Since you want to ask us who would you fight, so we can wrap it up.
Hi, but fair to Robot Boy, if you're watching this right now, my boy. Robot Boy, if you're watching this right now, Mzi, I'm calling you out, boy. I am calling you out right now, boy. Look at me, live and direct, boy. Classes are off. I'm calling you out right now. Mzi, but you can see this. Let's operate something.
Now, I wonder, he's slightly taller than you, but you guys are kind of like the same size a little bit. I'd love, man.
I'm stressed.
I'd love to see that box. Shout out to Robert Boy, because he and I were hosting out there together with Robert Marawa and Minnie Dlamini, doing some interviews, backstage stuff.
That's dope. They had Robert out there.
So me and Robert will bring the entertainment side, and then they had Minnie and Robert Marawa to make sure that we don't talk too much nonsense.
Okay.
And they do
keep it about the sports.
Keep it out. So they do the sports, and Nice. But a lot of people came through, man. Like the guy who's the director of Rock Nation Sports.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Came all the way down from New York to see the fight himself. So I was like, above all else, the greater win here is South Africans getting this big spotlight. True. Of course, we already know Rock Nation Sports invested in Mamelodi Sundowns, Siya Kolisi, the Sharks, all signed, and a bunch of other guys, Cheslin from the Springboks. So seeing this, and I was asking them, would you guys think that you would see a crossfight between a Cassper and like a Wale or a J. Cole or something like that? You know what I mean? And like, you could never write anything off, but of course the guys have to want to do it because none of them are sportsmen. True. But we know from this side, Cassper would never say no. Doesn't matter who it is that side. If that opportunity ever presented itself, he will fight anyone in Rock Nation.
As long as he can rock his route of fame, Papa.
Even if it's a clean loss.
Hey man, at least somebody's willing to do it. You know what I mean? We need the entertainment. So big ups to Cassper and his team. Really big production that was put on. I think everybody was really excited, especially because the first one everybody kind of criticized. So this one, there's a lot of good news that came through from Sun City. So I appreciate what they had done and how they had obviously bettered it from the Slick Talk fight. So yeah, man. I think you guys have got one. Celeb City, we'll see who's on the next one. So making big international news, of course, is one of our very own Loyiso, the vocalist. Oh, what a smooth voice. Got himself an amazing gig that I don't think anybody saw coming.
Yeah, true.
Performed at the Beckham wedding. He performed at Brooklyn Beckham's wedding, which is huge for South African artists to even be booked for something like that, let alone for him to also then represent South Africa like that. So I think that was really dope, man. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him, man. It's very, being booked for anything international is dope for our guys because I always want them to be out there and be seen. But being booked for somebody's wedding as big as Beckham is very personal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because people at other wedding, they request you by name. Like, this is the guy we want, not just some
He's
random.
the one who's going to sing our song.
You know what I mean? So it's a big up to him in terms of like his talent, whatever, which is of course impeccable. And I hope that this opens up even more doors for him internationally. Yeah. That guy has that thing where I feel like he could take over the world. You know, he could be that international star with his amazing voice. I remember even at Ricky's funeral, man, I kept even getting distracted about the way I kept thinking about this guy's talent, even forgetting about how sad, how things. Like, I mean, he's just really somebody who I feel like the international stage deserves to see. Yeah. But also, everyone is like, when did Beckham's kids get that old?
I mean, wasn't this guy a toddler like 2 years ago?
Yo, they're all grown ass men. I saw that picture of all of them in suits. I'm like, where are the babies at?
Well, it means you're also getting old. I mean, catching up.
But also another thing that I feel like we're forgetting, it was a Beckham wedding, but also the hand that he was getting married to is a daughter of a billionaire. Yeah. And so we're not talking billions in rands, my boy. Get it dollars, I need a euro, my boy. Yay. And Loyiso Ojamonate, wherever he is right now.
I hope that invoice was clean. None of this humility thing. Hey, this Ubuntu thing, you guys must leave it behind. Let's just charge them. If there's billionaires there, please. I hope that invoice was clean. The manager, that 20%, I'm sure, he's set for life now.
It's the nicest invoice I've ever sent. It was probably accepted before it even reached. They said, don't worry about the invoice.
Exactly.
Just send your banking details, my brother.
But you're right. It is going to be, well, I mean, they're already married now. But yeah, the billionaire daughter as well as a Brooklyn Beckham must be one hell of a wedding. And I'm sure they're obviously following in the parents' footsteps because, hey, man.
Does Tata Motsepe have any daughters?
Moving on.
Just as a question.
I wonder. That's a good question.
Come on. Just let me know in the comments. Let me know. Like,
Tato's throwing a lot of shots on the show. I'm not too sure if we want to keep him on for the rest of the episode. But we're going to watch him.
Just asking,
we're going to watch him. All right, more in international news. Shimza sells out London. Kunye.
Big.
What?
Big.
And he's obviously taking the Afro-tech genre to the rest of the world. He had been doing a couple of them here in South Africa, of course, in collaboration with UR. And Kunye, he's taken to the rest of the world. I know he does a lot of international bookings himself. So he has his agency that helps him out at those events. So the fact that he could do it in London, clean cut. Big shout outs to Shimza and his team as well.
You see, I love people that are taking advantage of momentum. You know what I'm saying? South African dance music has always been appreciated internationally. Most people will say that we have the best house music in the world.
Yeah.
So, you know, the guys started Ibiza, it was just the big dogs. And then now to see more of the artists, we speak about every single week on this show about another piano artist who's doing big things internationally, outside of dominating locally. People aren't waiting. Let's see what we can do next year. Right now.
Right now.
Right now. This is what I want to hear. Every single week, I want somebody else be booking a ticket, booking a show, booking a venue. Instead of waiting, now that the iron is hard, we must flood that European market because coming off the wave of what the Nigerian guys have been able to do and open up spaces and for us to benefit from that, now even South Africans are showing a lot of love outside there. You know what I'm saying? Because usually it was like the big Nigerian market that was showing South African dance music. And Afro beats, whatever. Yeah, man. So basically to see, I think right now, if you're an artist in South Africa who's looking to look abroad, this is the great time to have great management, which we've spoken about. This is not the time to be sitting with your boy just because you guys come from the same hometown.
Yeah, your cousin.
You need that person that's gonna strike while the iron's hot and that's gonna take you to the next level. That's what the manager should be. Should be somebody who is the connection that maybe can open up a new world to you. So this is, if you're an artist right now in South Africa and you're looking to do something dope and you know what your management is not doing the work that they're supposed to do,
big facts, man. But I also feel like, you know, just speaking about the fact that our SA artists are going overseas and operating and things, doing great things that side, I feel like now there's a bit of a negative element that's happening.
What?
Where there's certain people who are hoping that this wave dies down. There's certain people who are like really, really pessimistic about this whole thing of South African artists going overseas. Like you'll get, should I speak on this?
Yes, you've already started.
Okay, I'm gonna just create an example, man. So like a certain artist, big star, that should be like a young hint as to who it is.
Yeah.
Big star, goes overseas, does his thing, he's been doing his thing in London, and then as soon as he came back, like the reception that he got from the crowd wasn't the same love that he used to get the side, you know? Because a lot of people they have this mindset of would say, oh no, he thinks he's international now.
Hey.
And I feel like that energy is something that we need to speak about because we need to be supporting our people as they go and operate overseas. We mustn't just wait for Black Coffee to come back with a Grammy, then we're like, okay, now, you're our nigga, no, you're our person right now. You know, we need to show a lot of love to these people and make sure that even this wave, even if it does die down, whatever, we love one of the love still maintains and we can be able to persist with that love over here in South Africa, man.
And that's the thing, like, I don't understand why people always want to kind of break people down as opposed to just saying, okay, let's actually put all of our energy behind them, because it doesn't help the situation. Because if we don't support our people, how is the rest of the world supposed to support them if we're coming with negative energy?
Absolutely.
You know? So I hear that. I mean, I do find a lot of artists also then go when they come back and they're like, I'm always finding love internationally because at home they don't really see me, and it's always a thing of actually blowing up with a Grammy or whatever the case may be, or recognition for people to then take you seriously back at home. So let's kind of change the narrative a little bit. Let's be more positive than we are negative.
Yeah, I think sometimes the friction also comes from promoters sometimes, because you know guys, as they get bigger, you know, yesterday's price is not today's price anymore.
Oh well, but really, I'm not going to still charge.
So the crowd wants guys. And sometimes the promoters don't book them because they're like, Miss Cassper is now overpriced. We tried to book her, she didn't want to come.
And
or she gave us energy. So they craze the fans now say, Miss Cassper can't come and perform where she used to come and perform anymore because she thinks she's too big. But meanwhile, she's just like, can we negotiate better and have a little bit more respect? So the promoters know how to create friction between fans and artists and venues. You know what I'm saying? When they don't get what they want from an artist, they can very easily start spreading things. Oh, he didn't want to come. He said he was too busy. He didn't feel like it. They can make you look bad in front of people. So now coming to that venue becomes difficult for you going forward regardless, because it looks like you never want to come anyway. So I think the respect thing, because when guys go outside and come back, it's not easy to book Black Coffee every single weekend at every single venue. Not a lot of people can afford them. But those who can need to make clear and also be respectful to guys and give them what they're worth, because they know that absolutely my booking price is going to go up. Don't come ask for Focalistic from 2020. Things have changed right now. He definitely wants to perform locally, so don't make him sound, and I'm not saying he's the guy, but I'm saying all the other piano guys, you can mention them one by one. Who would you don't, because then when Gogo went tomorrow, today when she comes, you start causing problems around her. Promoters know exactly what they're up to, and they know they can cause friction. You know this, Nani.
They're the biggest problem. And then they'll say, she didn't want to come, I tried to book her. Sometimes they don't even call. Sometimes they don't even email. But they're just saying this to cover their asses so that their fans keep coming to their venue. So it's a catch-22 in this situation. But let's all work together. Let's just find a middle ground. Every artist wants to be booked. Everybody wants to go back to their hood. They just want to be respected. Absolutely. Because if you know what I bring as an artist, then pay me my dues. And yes, I'm willing to negotiate, especially if it's a place that I grew up going to. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. So you wanna pampili. Talking about international things and people coming to the eye and maybe us going internationally. A very new show, well, not very new show, but a new leg of a show came to South Africa for a red carpet. The Real Housewives of Lagos. My ladies came through with the glitz and the glam and the, hey man, the laid weaves, the glitz and the red carpet looks, of course. But it also caused a little bit of a stir on social media. So much so that people were rather getting dragged, again, the negativity, as opposed to being celebrated. So this also begs the question, because right after Real Housewives of Lagos, well, right before rather, there was also the event of the Bridgerton event.
Of course, yes.
Where there was also a red carpet and a glitz and a glam and a theme that people had to kind of stick to, which also kind of brought up a conversation around, do South Africans really understand what a red carpet is supposed to be?
But
what are they supposed to wear? And how are they supposed to show up? And this is a conversation that's happened in previous years also. It's only coming back now because for 2 years, COVID, we've all been at home. So there hasn't been a red carpet. So we're only getting a red carpet now that we're back outside. How are you feeling about the red carpet industry in South Africa?
Hey, it's dicey. As somebody who's consistently dragged the South African red carpets.
You're the dragger.
Through many, many years.
Why do you drag people? Can I actually understand the thinking behind it?
I don't drag people. I just give honest commentary about what I feel. And then because sometimes it's not flattering to certain people, it seems like you're a hater. But, you know, I've always spoken my mind about things, whatever. Half the time I say things in jest and I'm saying it in a comedic way and I'm teasing. I'm not being malicious. Because I don't think like you can pull out something of mine when I'm being completely malicious against somebody. But I would be like, yeah, but what are you wearing also, my sister? Or what are you wearing, my brother? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, red carpet, I don't know too much about fashion, so my comment will always be like, maybe I just don't like what somebody's wearing. Yeah. But if we're going to compare it and say when we look at other red carpets in Europe and we look at red carpets in Hollywood and we're taking ourselves seriously and we're trying to emulate what the people are doing or be on the same level, not so much emulate. And our country right here in Nigeria, they do it very, very well. And South Africa, we've had many problems. many problems on these red carpets, black carpets, blue carpets, whatever that we.
There was also carpet in Sun City.
Yeah, just carpet. You know, you should take out the red carpet. Just put that carpet at home. That one with the patterns, you know that one, the Persian carpet. Once you go Rakhadi, like a carpet there because you're dressed as if you're going to Rakhadi's house. I don't know what it is where we miss the mark. Whether it's the designers and the us ourselves, the South Africans, not being able to like pick, because we look at Americans, we're like, that's a beautiful dress. But when it's time for you to dress up, it's like, just bring the picture once. Bring the picture from Hollywood. Once. So just make me this dress.
Okay, before I comment, I'm going to go to Tato because as we can see, he's a man of style. He's a man of fashion. He likes to look good. He tries to represent himself as well as he possibly can.
So now, I've never gotten this compliment from you. Now I can't dress.
You said you don't know much about fashion.
So are you agreeing with me?
No, I'm asking Tato because he made an effort. I don't know, me and you are chilled every week when you come here. Please look like Mr. Red Carpet next week and then maybe I can...
I'll plug the red carpet like this. I don't give a damn.
Exactly.
No, but you came through in Sun City though. That black fit.
Shout out, man.
It's kind of nice, man.
See, wasn't bad. Show love.
It wasn't bad.
Anyway, back to Tato.
I didn't see my pictures.
I didn't see anything.
But yo, man, I'm just dead because I remember I saw this one tweet. They were like, the only theme that South African celebrities respect, get all white. Anything else, huapa lava fit. So I don't know, man. I feel like with regards to the whole red carpet situation, I don't want to speak on other people's style or other people's swag because I mean, out on your friends can see you in the mirror. Everyone can carve you, dog. So if no one is going to tell you, boy, that's a bit of a miss, then me, I don't know. But I want to speak on another element because I saw, I think it was Devin Gogo. She was going back and forth on Twitter with a couple of people. And basically the whole idea or summary of the chat was just that, yo, guys, just stop this whole criticism of us. But my thing is that, bro, if you are going to be in the light and you're going to put your fits in the light and you're going to post your fits on a red carpet, dog, you should be liable to all the hate that you're going to receive.
Why must it be hate? Why can't it be love also?
But there is love within it. However, if it's a miss, like I said, utsuhi, watap, wapar, whichever was speeding, baraneg, monatike, grandeg, moj. Wabe watch only team how, but no, you're looking fresh. You posted the pictures. You thought it was fire, but people felt like it's a miss. So take that L, dog. Take those shots. Nothing wrong with that. Take it.
Hey, man. But the thing is, the thing is about fashion, is that it's also
subjective.
It's subjective. Number one. Number two, it's also a creative element. People don't see creativity in the same light. The same way some people will say, "Oh, that's a hot song. Oh no, that's a crap song." We have different opinions. We have different ways that we look at certain things. It's an art form. So if you walk out of your house, if you walk out of your house. And you're like, I'm trying to push the boundaries. I'm trying to take it to the next level. You're pushing a boundary because that is how you are expressing your art form at that point in time on the red carpet. Because it's also boring seeing the same dresses all the time, where everyone just feels like, I've got a train, I've got my boobs out, and I'm glamorous. And it's like, okay, cool, you're glamorous, but then when do we push the envelope when it comes to fashion?
Now I feel like we must then understand what we're trying to do. Because if you're saying that it's a creative expression and that's what you're trying to put out when you come onto the red carpet, then what you're describing more is runway fashion. Things that you see at a runway show, but like, no one would ever wear that. You know, you're watching a Prada show, a Gucci runway show, like, why would I wear something when the spikes are coming out like that? Don't pull up on that at the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna make a statement, make a Lady Gaga statement and wear a meat suit. So you can, off the bat, see, okay, this person wasn't trying to wear a dress of the night. They're trying to express something that what they're trying to do. But something is a creative expression, we can see it. Yeah. But
that's the thing.
That's the difference between somebody who was trying to, let me try something different, man. Everyone looks monotonous. Let me try and spice it up. We can see that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget Ricky used to do that. Those things sometimes. He'd go from wearing something from the runway, he'd wear a statement piece. You know what I'm saying? Wearing a mask, everything. You know, like how Kanye West does as well. We're like, I know this guy didn't think Kapila in the sense, but he's like, I'm doing something different. I'm being edgy. I'm pushing the boundaries. I'm showing you guys a different way of thinking.
And you guys still criticized him when he did all of that.
Yes, but like that's a different type of criticism. Because now we can talk about how we don't understand what you're wearing. Not so much you don't look dope for a red carpet. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm saying some people are showing up with whack dresses. Niggas are showing up in whack suits. The guys even worse because at least the women are trying to put together some really dope outfits. Well, Bridgerton especially. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to really express themselves. Oaks be pulling up there wearing just the church suit or something. You know what I'm saying? A kente cloth on top of it. The Wakanda forever. Come on, bro.
Wakanda forever. Oh goodness. You know what? I really appreciate the fact that the ladies were also trying to do something different.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that they were also expressing themselves because we're all different. What?
Was it dope?
The red carpet.
No, you appreciate, but was it dope to you?
The red carpet?
Yeah, they fit.
I thought most of them were beautiful. I definitely appreciated the efforts that were put in. I do think a lot of the ladies are stepping the games up compared to previously because we've seen from the likes of obviously the Summer Awards, the Metros, the Durban Julys, the Mets, the things like that. So obviously when you look back at those types of events and you look at how ladies are trying to step their game up, I really feel like they are trying a little bit harder now. However, I agree with you. I agree with the comment that Tato made about if you're going to post it on social media, if you're going to be on a red carpet, you need to be open to the criticism. 100% I'm there. I just don't feel like, I feel like people need to also open up their minds because we also don't want, because the same people who are trolling and saying, yimbi ukogeni, are the same ones who are going to say, Anyasbora, you guys wear the same things every year. So it's also like, okay, but what do you want?
You know what I mean? You must pick your words when you're criticizing. That's what I'm saying. Because there's people who are criticizing and say, I don't know what Miss Cosmo is wearing. This red carpet, that's not the right. You can say somebody, but when you're speaking to somebody as if you're trying to break them, that's where I have a problem with it. It seems personal. What the fuck is this nigga super wearing? Motherfuckers can't even have no money to buy no motherfucker. They're like, whoa! You know what I mean? That's like, you're not even criticizing me anymore. You clearly just dislike me. And, you know what I'm saying? Even if I was wearing something dope, you probably would have kept quiet. Wouldn't have been so vocal because, you know what I'm saying? So the way that we speak about it, especially with women, of course, the way we speak about women's bodies and their fits and whatever matters. Because then you can tell immediately, okay, you're not talking about her fit anymore. You're just criticizing the way somebody looks in general.
And just to also put it out there, like, on the topic of with Devin Gogo, like she was actually looking fly.
She was one of the best dressed.
She was so fly. Like I didn't get where the criticism was coming from. And that's where that line that you're talking about is coming in. We're going to there's a difference between saying we're going to okay, now your fit is just on fire, and then now it's becoming a whole personal thing. And I think that's where we just need to draw the line as people on social media. Because also this Twitter thing, away sharp, 150 characters, you do a thing, you get your laughs and your retweets. But to some people, like, yo, it really affects them mentally.
It does.
And we keep speaking, going back and forth about mental health, jiggy. Now something happens to someone, oh God, let's be a bit more kind. Mara, you are busy there cooking people's body images. So please, Oaks.
If you don't like something, I think you can criticize it on a technical level. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's music, a movie, or whatever. But if you start going saying, I know, why was actually Sipo in that thing? And why was he saying this? And what? Like, I feel like we can take the hate out of it as much as we can and criticize something on its art form, how it's being presented, how you received it, outside of going after people personally. Because when you go after people personally, it doesn't help anybody. And a lot of people who are insecure about doing these red carpets, because you realize when we watch these things, we're always asking, where's Magma? Where's Magma? Where's Mama? They were there last time. Why did they come this time?
Because they've tapped out.
Even people who were best dressed last time would be like, hey, I don't even want to be told how good I look. Because even that gives me like anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So people, we're not very inviting to say people, try something new, come to the red carpet, let's see what up. Because many people are like, you know what, I'm actually not even going to go to this event. Or people are showing up to the red carpet and they're like, I'm not walking this red carpet. I'm going to go straight into this venue. I don't have time for this rubbish.
And you know what the worst part about a red carpet is? You know, you could be thinking you've got the dress of the night. You are thinking you're the belle of the ball. And you know the person that you've spoken to take your pictures. You're saying, Austin, wherever you are, make sure that you get this with the right angles, with the right flash. And then some guy from some blog then decides, okay, I just need to post fast. He comes with his 3310 and wants to take a picture of you. And that's the one that ends up trending because him and his blurry camera is the one that people have posted. And now you have to now answer to this picture that you didn't even plan on. Please, guys, do us a favor. If you're going to come and report on the red carpet, also come with a proper camera. I beg. That's my only question.
I've seen that plenty times. That was a couple of award shows. I'm not going to mention which publication it was, because they actually interviewed me and they were quite nice to me. But in the past, like summers or whatever, I remember they were like literally posting from a V360.
And it's
They
like,
said we're gonna post these things from a V360 or E250 Samsung, you know that one.
Why do I feel like I know which one you're talking about?
And they will post threads, picture after picture, deliberately. Somebody is going,
Niyasibulala, okay? We don't even know where to look anymore,
You know
because
what I
most
mean?
bees I don't have a choice but to smile.
True.
But there you are with your phone that's just not the one.
catch Miss Cosmo, she's holding a dress like this, going,
And you catch me at the wrong time, and that's the one you're posting. When I'm still getting ready for the pose, that's the one you want to post. Please, my brother, save me. I beg.
But I think better research in terms of like designers out there. There's a lot of dope young designers.
Facts.
Doesn't always have to be
Facts.
expensive. Is not isn't the way to always go.
Hey, I've had my fair share of having problems. I've had a lot of.
designers, come on, eh?
I've also had a lot of wardrobe malfunctions.
Yeah,
Where
but-
things go wrong when you're getting dressed and the thing falls apart, the zip breaks or a button falls off or something tears, and now you have to fix it in that last 10 minutes before
Yep.
you go to the red carpet. But then it becomes your fault. It's not the person who made the dress.
Of course.
So there's a lot that goes onto a red carpet. Please deal with us,
Just
okay?
don't show up to the red carpet as if you heard about it that morning.
Ah!
That's it. I
Eh,
can wait. But send it to email you. RSVP 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away, a month away. Now, what is it now? April, you know, again. Devin July is coming up. You have May, you have June, it'll be probably beginning of July, first
Yeah.
weekend of July, right? So you have 2.5 months
Basically.
to source designers. You can even tweet, guys, designers, send me designs on Twitter if you're a famous person to get all this feedback. If you want to support designers, let's go. Let's keep that challenge going.
Facts.
Let's find, and it's really theme. That's what dribbles people the most.
but no one ever understands those 7 July themes. That's also the problem.
Yeah, they'll tell you-
Interpretation is the problem.
But like African cuteness with mixture of Wakanda. Or
I
what?
mean, and now it's awkward.
You're like, what must I wear?
You see, that's when you come with a simple dress because you're confused now.
That's why I say metric dance at the bottom, kente cloth at the top. Come over, buzz cut. Let's see, maybe I pulled off this thing.
Oh goodness, but hopefully things will get better, obviously. And I mean, the criticism is there. I'm not even gonna hate on the fact that people are allowed to say what they need to say because you're posting it. But hey, so puma pambili ngayo, and that of course also brings us to an unpopular question here on the POPcast.
Yeah, I'm having fun today. I'm loving the contrast of opinions, guys. I want it today.
Yes.
I thought we should have fashion all the way. Let's just call this the fashion show.
Yeah. No.
But not color gardener. That's when they go find all your Facebook pictures. But you must just keep quiet, my brother.
Exactly. But this was you 10 years ago, bro? All right. So our unpopular question for this week.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the time here on the podcast, we speak a lot about hip hop, we speak a lot about amapiano, but there's the one genre that I think I've mentioned a couple of times that I really love, and I think Sipho might be convinced he's getting into it. Do you think Gqom has a chance of becoming mainstream as it was before?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Tell me why.
Ju. You know that song, boy? You know that song, boy? Yo.
My girlfriend probably does.
Do you know that Siopanda song? Calling Cheese.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys, Gqom is coming back, guys.
Uh-huh.
Gqom is coming back.
Is your vibe?
Gqom is coming back. I believe in Gqom.
Really?
I believe in Gqom. Guys, Gqom is coming back.
Did you grow up listening to Gqom, or is it something that you're also only just getting into now?
No, I grew up in Joburg, so like 2016, 17 when Gqom was like the biggest thing in South Africa. That's when I was introduced to it.
Okay.
And then it died down because of piano, but now it is coming back, guys.
Uh-huh.
It's coming back. Ju. You know boy.
Do you think it's got what it takes?
I'm gonna be humming that, not knowing what I'm humming this whole time. Definitely, I think what we've been talking about in recent shows about Gqom has shown a resurgence of it. I've definitely heard some dope stuff. I think we spoke about DJ Lag's album a few episodes ago, which I thought was very, very dope. And again, what we consistently have to speak about is that Gqom being heavy in the KZN has never died down in KZN. It died down in South Africa, but in KZN, it's still hard.
Not just KZN, Coastal, Eastern Cape, Cape Town.
Absolutely. It's just those places that aren't really spoken about in mainstream because people aren't speaking about it in Joburg. We think nobody cares about it. We have definitely 9 provinces and a lot of people that enjoy lots of different types of music. So if it's not popular in Joburg, it doesn't mean that it's died down everywhere else. Because Joburg is all about waves. You know, whatever is a cool wave, people jump on. But doesn't mean that people that are from other towns have forgotten about certain artists or certain music. Gqom definitely, I think, has more than enough chance of coming back. and having a big resurgence. I think it will take be like DJ Lag, but it takes an artist like what Babes will do. It takes a popular artist who's loved across the entire country to carry it. Not just guys who are kind of a little bit more underground, a little bit more niche in terms of like the guys that really just take the genre in, that are big into dance music. It takes somebody who cracks the barriers, like the Babes will do, to bring it back into the charts, and so to help other artists to be like, okay, now it's time for us to release because we're getting back that attention. So all the stakeholders in Gqom, you know what I'm saying, it just takes one of those people. And I think like Babes can definitely still do it. I don't think she wants to, which is like one of those things.
What do you mean? She's dropping new music.
Yeah, but like in terms of like national, what you call this, dominance. Because you know how you have to do it. You have to be able to tour and to work hard across the entire country. You can't just be doing it back home and just releasing.
Do you know who I believe in? Do you know who I really, really believe in?
Please say Q.
Huh?
I was going to say please say Q. But
I was actually going to say Destruction Boys, not just Q. I saw them. I was out in Durban, obviously, prior to my getting onto the cruise this past weekend. And they played together. I haven't seen them play together in ages because they obviously had a little bit of a rift where they had parted ways, and Q was doing his own thing, and Max was also doing his own thing. But they were booked together this past Thursday, and seeing them play together again really got me excited. Yes. And it really got me to a point of, if these two could just get back into studio again and give us that vibe, we will definitely bring Gqom back. I also watched Ibunefu's space, where they do the
review of the videos.
And they were doing the review of Intimza Se Envy. And they were so excited when they saw in the beginning. Hey, I'm also just losing my words here. But anyway, when they saw Jaja in the beginning, they were excited. They were like, where is this guy? Can he give us more music? We remember him from Kunye. And of course, for me, I was like, that was the time where we could have taken it all the way to the top. Please, guys, get back into studio. Do this thing.
Yo, because guys, one thing about Q, when you watch his sets, oh my goodness, guys. That's why I'm like, Gqom is coming back. Best believe.
I think the DJs just need to collaborate with a few artists to bring Gqom back up. Because DJs can't do it by themselves. They need that collaborative effort. So for Destruction Boys, again, they go release a single like Omunye and they take it to the top. That's what it's going to take. And it could feature like a Babes or whatever. They'll take the song where it needs to get took, but it needs a familiar face. It needs to get back into our daily lives, our homes. Go guys, everywhere across the country.
Amaroto must give us a Gqom EP.
They actually could, eh? They could pull it off.
Those guys can do whatever they want.
At this stage, they're going to stick it to the top. We'll be there. We'll support at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
Amen. All right. So talking about new music, of course, we also have new songs that have been released this past week. Have you checked out the new Tsego?
I've checked out the new Tsego. Is there?
El Pantera.
It's a repackaging of old tracks. You know what I'm saying? Which actually I all love. So I'm glad that I can find them all in one place. But shout out to Tsego, also Maftown boys. So there's always gonna be love out there. I'm not sure what the repackaging purpose is. I haven't heard but the marketing around it. If he's just saying, yo, here's all my jams down there. But maybe because they were being distributed by, because some of those songs were still under Family Tree. You know what I'm saying? Now that he's, I guess, owns or he's licensing and went through all of that and he's under his label, that perhaps going forward, he just wanted to put everything under the same roof. And it's all his hits, of course. So I think maybe that might be part of the marketing strategy as he's continuing to work on new music, of course, with the song he put up with AKA towards the end of last year. I'd imagine that this is probably just to keep the momentum going as he's waiting for the album rollout. So I'm interested to see what else he's doing. They've got Sondela, which is now at number 2 in the country, which might be number 1 this week by the time this is done. So of course his momentum is back up. So I'm guessing his energy.
That's one thing I like about Tsego. Tsego's always seeming like he's always working on something. Yeah. He's always either in the studio or he's collaborating, or he's doing a feature, or he's producing because he also is a producer. So for him to kind of repackage, I think for him is also just like, what am I doing for my brand so that we can then get to the next level? So he's always thinking, what's next? And I love the momentum, man. So big up to Tsego.
Shout out my nigga Tsego, man. That's all I gotta say.
All right, we've also got new music coming through. J Hood featuring Black Liz.
Ooh, I like that.
Philosophy.
I like that.
I love that track with P.O as well.
Yeah.
Just 3 dope verses, amazing hook, I thought, from the song. P.O. I used to call him P.O. at first. I didn't know it was P. I had to interview the O. He's like, definitely P.O, my brother. I was like, yeah, P.O. You know, because he's from Pretoria. I'd be like, yeah, P.O. So, brah. He's like, hey, man.
But you made it very like Maftown, because Maftown people say
yo,
that.
I tried to find it the fuck at that time. But he's an immaculate rapper.
Yeah.
Great verse from Black Layers as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who J Hood is. I haven't heard a lot of stuff from him.
He's been.
I've heard the name, but I'm not very familiar with him. But to hear him now, I was like,
J Hood's been around for a while. He's also done a lot of really dope collaborations with a lot of artists. Made some music with MT even. So it's I like that he's always selecting his features the way that he is, because I think he also understands that he kind of needs that assistance to kind of get that recognition. Because I don't think you would have paid attention to the song if it wasn't for P-Dot and
probably not, because I do like both those artists.
But I do think he is a dope artist. So J Hood, I also like the momentum. Black Layers, always clean cuts. If there's one person you can rely on for a verse perspective, clean cuts. P-Dot as well, also coming through with the vibes.
And you know what's dope is actually the fact that Black Layers, J Hood. It's not the first time they collaborate.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like they must keep on doing this thing together. Hopefully, some way, somehow, and I'm gonna keep on punting at young EP, because it's two great rappers. It's two people who are rapping, guys. When was the last time you heard people in in SA hip hop, to be specific, rapping? Rapping. Guys.
Yeah.
So please, my favorite, you keep doing your thing. I'm loving the verses. My favorite verse in that song, though, has to most definitely go to Black Layers. He held it down for me.
Clean.
For me.
I loved it. Between him and P.O, I'm not sure, but. And I don't know if I'm misunderstanding what the context is, but in J Hood's verse, there's a point where he's like, I don't know if he threw in something close or whatever, but he says, don't talk to me about that boy from the Eastern Cape. He's the Eastern Cape's 6'9" or something. It sounds like he was throwing a shot at somebody. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. He's like, don't talk to me about that boy. He's the closer 6'9" or something like that.
I don't know.
So I don't know if that's a compliment or a diss.
That's a diss.
He's calling some Eastern Cape artists.
Though.
So I'm very interested. I'm gonna go find out for you guys. I'm posing this to you so you go listen to the song. We're gonna investigate together.
I think he was talking about Big Closer.
You're right.
Actually,
that makes more sense because he's basically just a clown.
But why would you be dissing Big Closer though? Like,
why
would you be giving him energy though? Like, it's your J Hood. Why are you giving Big Closer energy, dog? Honestly.
Hey,
I think it could possibly be him. It makes sense that
it could be, but there's a lot of things that happen in hip hop that nobody understands. I think I've gotten to a point, having been in this game for so long, I don't know why things happen. You just watch them happen. So who knows, man? It might be a personal thing. It might be a personal vendetta.
I think it's Ifani.
Another clown. So it also makes sense.
Wow.
I mean, they're cartoon characters. Let's just be. They entertain like cartoon characters. It's what they're about. They're living, breathing gimmicks. They literally lead with that. So I couldn't diss them. That's who they are. That's what I'm not making fun of them. They do it themselves.
Well, you disrespecting Ifani.
That's who they are. And Ifani had a good run with music.
That guy had the whole nation saying "Kupati, boy,
it was fun, but now
boy,
I thought he would come back and leave the gimmick behind. But he doubled down, my boy.
The thing is, that's part of his MO. So he can't leave it behind because that's what got him on.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a diss. It's literally describing what they are, and they're both clowns. I mean, come on.
Do you think Sipo cares? Sipo doesn't care. That's one thing he really doesn't care. But Sipo does care about a couple of things. And of course, we're going to get into that with what matters to Moochie in a moment. But of course, we do want to say thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the POPcast. Thank you to our guest, Tato.
Shout out. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yo, guys, please follow the boy at President Tato. Show him some love. And if Uncle Waffles is watching this, yo, man, holla at your boy.
Wow! There's a lot of...
Clean bone.
There's a lot of bones being thrown here.
Can you zoom into my eye real quick if you can? In the edits, man.
I'm so stressed.
See, this is why we're inviting light-skinned niggas. Gonna take a little break from light-skinned niggas.
We're gonna leave them in the back. Big shout outs to our venue again, Alta Bar and Greenside. Yeah, man, thank you always for the love and support. My homie Moochie coming back with what matters to Moochie.
You already know. Thanks for tuning in, guys. But stay plugged in.
Yes, and of course, join us again next week, same time, same place. Well, Tuesday, not Wednesday. Same time, same place next week.
Bomba next week.
Bomba next week somewhere. We will be dropping again. Please subscribe, please like, please keep commenting, and please keep giving us a love on the socials. And of course, follow us on social media, POPcast for real. That is our handle on Instagram as well as on Twitter. Oh yes, and also check us out on TikTok. Remember, our TikTok account is up now. We might just be posting a more More
La driver,
dropping it
guys.
down. We're
Let's see.
inside. So we're still inside. Of course, I've got more for you on Real Views as well. Check it out.
What's going on, beautiful people? Guess who's back again? It's your boy Moochie, and this week what matters to me is seeing new things come to life. Just like what we've just witnessed this past weekend in Sun City, of course. First of all, shout out to Naak Musiq. I want to start there. Shout out to him for first accepting this challenge, because I think at that time he was in the background. No one knew that he was gonna even pop out of nowhere, and everyone didn't take it that seriously. It seemed kind of weird and staged, but he really gave it his energy. He went and trained. He prepared very well, and of course, if you watch the fight, you know that he eventually brought the heat and got the W. So shout out to him, because to accept to do that and to want to get knocked out in front of people, to take that risk that you may be embarrassed, is of course takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of heart, and he definitely brought it and made what we thought was just going to be maybe just a dope event, an even more spectacular event. And of course, main shout out to Cassper and his team for taking this risk of putting this very, very big fight together. After the fight that happened in December, a lot of people's energy was trying to figure out, is this going to be a big event? Is it going to be a small event? Is it even going to be successful? But to go from throwing something in a gym and doing what they do best, which is putting something on a big stage like this, is not just dope for them and their team, who we know can deliver with their history with Philip, but also I hope it's something that encourages all the other artists out here, all the other creators in this country, to take big risks and do some dope stuff for the culture. Contribute in whatever way that you want to contribute, but contribute on a really big scale that can change a lot of people's lives. If you outside of the boxing match, the employment that thing creates, of course, is really, really big. And after 2 years of being locked down, the entertainment industry suffering so much, to be able to come back with such a dope bang is something that I hope a lot of people do more of. What are your hobbies, artists? What do you do in your spare time? How can you contribute to the arts outside of just releasing that one song or that one movie or that one whatever? People are hungry for entertainment. It is clear after what happens this week. And what I want to see more is that energy of people investing in themselves before even worrying, will I make a profit? Will I do this? Because I think we spend too much time worried about, will I just make money from this thing immediately? If I don't, I must immediately give up. And that's not how you create great platforms that change people's lives. So shout out to Naak Musiq, shout out to Cassper, shout out to everybody that showed love at Sun City. And I hope that we get to see a lot more of that going forward. What matters to me this week, I'm out.
What up? This is the Real Views here on the POPcast with myself, Ms. Cosmo. So we did speak to the red carpet of the Real Housewives of Lagos. But have we spoken about the production? Have we spoken about the show itself? So of course it is measured, well, pretty much put together the same way as all the Real Housewives shows are put together. So one episode drops every single week on Showmax. And it's good to kind of see a little bit more from the ladies with their glitz and their glam and the lives that they're living. Of course, I think for us, because we don't necessarily know them from an entertainment perspective, as we do maybe say the Durban ones or the Joburg ones, it's interesting to kind of see a little tap into Nigerian lifestyle and the way that they kind of do things. Because it is reality, of course, there are certain situations where they put the ladies together in a room and they don't necessarily know each other. You can see that they were kind of having to meet each other for the first time, interact with each other for the first time. So I'm interested to kind of see how the show is going to grow as it keeps going. But one thing that they showed us at the end of episode 1 was, it's not just going to be all roses and smiles on the show. There are going to be a couple of jabs being thrown, a couple of words being thrown, and hey man, I'm all here for the drama.